This week, we're making our Traxxas Modified a little bit slower. Huh. Hey, Corey here, Canadian RC guy. Welcome back to the shop. Well, this week, we're taking our Traxxas Modified, we're making it a little bit slower. I know, that's probably going to seem weird to all of you guys, and it kind of feels weird to me too, because usually we want to go faster. So hopefully you've been watching our other videos and you've been hearing us talk about our track. We're going to have time to make it a little bit longer, a little bit wider. We're going to be filling it in with clay, making it nice and smooth, but still going to be quite big enough to be running this thing. But we still want to have fun with it. So you know what? We pulled out of our Bigfoot the 12-turn motor and the speed controller, and we're going to be throwing it into this thing. And we'll take this stuff out of here. We'll save it for another project. Maybe we'll throw it into our Bigfoot. So we got the body off and out of the way. It's a pretty simple process. If you haven't seen it, at the end of this video, should be floating somewhere up here. We'll put the playlist to all our Traxxas Modified videos. But we're just going to be switching out this motor, this 2S motor, this BL2S controller, speed controller. We're going to be swapping this stuff in. It's going to be pretty easy. Like I said, if you haven't seen it, go back and click onto that playlist. We'll have videos in there of doing all sorts of stuff with this thing. But for now, we'll do it nice and simple. And just like that, we are done. The 12T motor is in, speed controller in, no problem. Well, there we have it. We've officially went to medium fast to kind of slow. We now have this BL2S system that we can take. Maybe we can put it in the Bigfoot that we got this stuff out of. Save it for another project, who knows. If you want to see it in the Bigfoot, let us know down in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. So now I'll get this battery plugged in, see if all our hard work, which wasn't all that hard, it didn't take us much more than 15 minutes to do all this. Get our controller turned on. I can hear some noise. There we go. I think. Yep. No problem. We are officially running again. And like I said, if you didn't hear me in the beginning, the reason we're changing it to a little bit slower is our track's not super huge. We're not going to have the time to make it a whole lot bigger with everything else we got going on this year. So we kind of slowed it down so that way we can still have a whole lot of fun with this thing this summer. So I guess now with the body back on, we should head out back to the track and see how this thing does. Now remember, it's not prepped or anything yet. It's still springtime here. In fact, today actually, we're getting an ice storm. So to be honest, when you see this thing next, it'll be in a few days. But we will be doing a whole lot of work to this thing this summer. We got a bunch of clay coming in to make this thing nice and smooth and keeping it a beautiful track. We're going to widen it out and stretching it out just a little bit. Can't wait. Hopefully you guys will stay along for all the new stuff coming up. So now, let's head out back and give this thing a run. Well, we made it through the ice storm, and we're out here at the track. We figured before we go driving around, we'll go for a little walk and let you know our plan for this year. So as you heard me say, we don't have a ton of time. We got a lot going on. We got a new shop build coming up. We still got to work on that rally track, and we got to lay a bunch of dirt and stuff for this thing. So we figure, you know what? We're going to run smaller cars on this thing, probably for the season, but we still want to be able to use our 110 stuff and have a little bit of fun, even if we have to slow them down a little bit. So we do have a little bit of room at this end. Unfortunately, we know we've got a couple of big rocks right here that we cannot move without spending a ton of time that we don't have. So we can get a few feet this way. We can get a few feet at the other end down there before we hit our rally track. And of course, we got one big tree, bush, whatever you want to call it, pain in the ass right here. And over on the other side, we got the same thing over here. Of course, we got a bunch of rocks and stuff from yanking them up, but we're going to be using those for another project over there. So if we can get at least one of those trees out of the way, we can widen this thing up, lengthen it up by, maybe we'll get another 10 feet. You know, we've got another 5 feet here at this end that we can do, so hopefully we'll be okay. And then we're going to have some clay brought in. Unfortunately, we got a long path. We're going to be wheelbarrowing it in, but we'll get that laid down, get a nice smooth track done, and we'll be ripping all summer long. Now let's get to some driving. So remember, we are 100% unprepped here. This is straight out of winter. We are bouncing and bumping all over the place. But I think by slowing this car down, it's gonna still allow us to have a ton of fun all summer long on this track. We definitely gotta make those corners a little bit bigger. Once we get this track widened out a little bit more and lengthened out a little bit, I think we're gonna be having fun all summer long. Oh, a little too tight there. I think we still definitely have some setup we need to do on this car. So obviously any tips or hints would be appreciated. We've had a whole lot of them dropped in our videos that we're gonna go back over and see what we can do to improve this car. So I think once we spend a little bit of time on this track, bring in some nice clay to really smooth this thing out, get some nice banks in here, bring over some friends, we're gonna be having a blast. So hey, if you're in the area, we're in Southern Ontario, you wanna come play this summer, hit us up and let us know. Well, I definitely think we made the right choice to slow it down. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. And like I said, we know we've got a lot of work to do on this track, but I think with a little bit of hard work and some sweat, we can make this thing a pretty nice little track to run on this summer. And if you're in the area, come on by, because we're gonna be racing pretty soon, a few nights a week. So as always, thank you so much. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button down below and ring that bell, and we'll see you again next week.